Welcome to the class, students. Today we are going to discuss chapter 8, body movements. Let's warm up. Look at the body movements of different organisms. Talk about how these animals move. So students, look at these pictures और आपको इन pictures को देख के different animals की different body movements देखने को मिल रही है. आपको observe करना है और इनके बारे में अपनी classmates से बात करनी है. Let's know about locomotion and body movements in animals. Human body and its movement, skeletal and muscular system and their advantage, locomotion in animals with bones, different types of bone joints, dislocation or fracture of bones, formation of skeleton. So these are the topics we will discuss in our chapter. Let's begin. Movement is one of the main characteristics of living organisms. The movement of animals from one place to another is called locomotion. So students, जो आपके animals जो है movement करते हैं एक place से दूसरे place पे, that is locomotion. Come to the next. The way of movement is different in different animals. Birds and insects fly, fish swim, snakes crawl, frogs hop. Some animals move on four legs and some, like us, move on two legs. Accordingly, bodies of all animals have special arrangements of organs to help them move. Most animals on land move through their limbs. The pattern of movement of animals, including human, is called their gait. Let's learn how our body moves. सो स्टूडेंट्स, क्या है, हर एक एनिमल की मूवमेंट बहुत डिफरेंट होती है. कोई चार पैरों पे मूव करता है, कोई स्विम करता है, कोई फ्लाई करता है. सो एवरीथिंग इज डिफरेंट, एवरीवन इज डिफरेंट. नाउ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इफ ह्यूमंस आर वॉक ऑन टू लेग्स. सो आप कैसे मूवमेंट करते हैं? दो पैरों पे मूवमेंट करते हैं. सो ये डिफरेंट थिंग्स है, डिफरेंट एनिमल्स है. नाउ वी आर डिस्कस अबाउट मूवमेंट इन एनिमल्स. Animals move from place to place for food, shelter, mate for reproduction, self-defense. So these are the main points why animal moves. Types of movement. Animals move by crawling, creeping, walking, running, hopping, flying, and swimming. The mode of movement depends on the habitat and body structure. Let us study movement in some animals which we see in the surroundings. So students, हम कुछ animals की movements को read करेंगे. Look at the first. Movement in earthworm. The body of an earthworm is made up of ring-like structures called segments. These are hair-like structures called bristles attached to the underside of these segments. These help the earthworm to get a grip on the ground while moving. The earthworm has no bones, it moves only with the help of muscles. While moving, the earthworm extends the front part of the body, keeping the rear end fixed. Then it fixes the front end and releases the rear end. To further help in movement, it secretes a slimy substance that sticks to its body. Look at these pictures, students. These are the pictures of movement of an earthworm. Look at the first picture, contraction, then friction area, then direction of movement, then again contraction, then relaxation. That means earthworm क्या करते हैं, अपने स्टार्टिंग जो फ्रंट में जब वो मूव करते हैं तो अपने रियर एंड को फिक्स करते हैं और फ्रंट एंड को कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करते हैं. देन वो फ्रंट एंड को फिक्स करते हैं और रियर एंड को मूव कराते हैं. तो ऐसे किसमें मूवमेंट होती है? अर्थवॉर्म में. अर्थवॉर्म में कोई बोन नहीं प्रेजेंट होती है. उनकी मूवमेंट सिर्फ और सिर्फ उनकी मसल्स की हेल्प से होती है. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, नाउ डू यू नो the earthworms are known as farmers' friend. This is because as they move, they keep eating the soil and then throw out the undigested part. Look here, activity 1. Try to find an earthworm in a ground or in a flower bed. Pick it up carefully and keep it on a paper. Now observe how it moves. Write your observation in your notebook. Do not hurt the earthworm. Remember to wash your hands properly after the activity. सो स्टूडेंट्स, आपने क्या करना है, देखना है कि अगर आपको कहीं पे कोई अर्थवॉर्म मिलता है तो उसको देखना है और उसकी मूवमेंट्स को ऑब्जर्व करना है. और अगर आप ये एक्टिविटी करते हैं तो आप अपने हैंड वॉश जरूर करना, क्योंकि आपने अर्थवॉर्म को टच किया है. सो इट विल बी इन्फेक्शियस टू अस. नाउ कम टू द नेक्स्ट. मूवमेंट इन अ स्नेल. द स्नेल, an invertebrate, has an outer shell for protection. It has slimy body without the bones. It moves with the help of a muscular organ known as the foot. The muscles in the foot contract and relax, which make wave-like movements and secretes a slimy substance known as mucus. This enables the snail to move with ease. It is able to move with ease even on sharp edges without any injury because of the mucus. So look at this picture, students. This is a snail moving with its foot. Cell tentacles had muscular foot. So स्टूडेंट स्नेल के पास भी बोन्स नहीं होती हैं, जो उसकी मस्कुलर फूट होते हैं उनमें बोन्स नहीं होती, और वो भी एक स्लाइमी सब्सटेंस को रिलीज करती है, दैट इज म्यूकस, जो उसकी हेल्प करता है मूवमेंट में. नाउ वी हैव मूवमेंट इन कॉकरोच. Cockroach can fly as well as run because it has 2 pairs of wings for flying and 3 pairs of legs for walking and running. The body of cockroach is covered with a hard chitinous exoskeleton which is divided into rings around the body. These rings permit body movements. Cockroach has 3 pairs of legs. The ends of legs have claws and adhesive pads. The first pair of legs pulls the body forwards and the third pair of legs pushes the body from the behind. The claws and adhesive pads help the cockroach to climb. So students, look at this picture. A cockroach, body parts, legs, claw, hind wings, fore wings, eye. So cockroach की कितनी legs होती हैं? 3 pairs of legs होती हैं, 2 pairs of wings होते हैं, तो वो fly भी कर सकता है और चल भी सकता है. Okay students, now we have some points. The pink dot's leg move forward while the blue dot legs remains on the ground. Look at this picture which is given in your book. They show the movement of cockroach with the help of dots. So जो pink dots legs है वो forward direction में move करते हैं, और जो blue dot legs है वो remain on the ground. Then the blue dot legs move forward and pink dot legs remains on the ground. This movement is repeated. So that's how cockroach move its body. Come to the next. The 2 parts of wing of cockroach help in flying. Do you know? Cockroaches can fly for short distances and for a short duration. They can run very fast on their hind legs. So students, cockroach fly कर सकते हैं बहुत short duration के लिए, लेकिन वो run कर सकते हैं बहुत fast with the help of their hind legs. Come to the next. Movement in snakes. Snakes do not have legs. Their body is long and cylindrical, supported with a long backbone. The well-developed body muscles are connected to each other and to the vertebrae, ribs and skin. The contraction of muscles create curves or loops along the body. Each loops create a push and the snake moves in a zigzag manner. So students, क्या है कि आपके स्नेक्स की बैकबोन भी होती है, लेकिन फिर भी वो अपनी मसल्स की हेल्प से ही मूव करते हैं. वो अपनी मसल्स को कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करते हैं, और जब उन कॉन्ट्रैक्शन ऑफ मसल्स होता है तो कोई लूप आपका क्रिएट होता है, आप कर्व बोल सकते हैं, और दैट्स व्हाई आपके जो स्नेक है वो जिगजैग मोशन में मूवमेंट करते हैं. लुक एट दिस पिक्चर. Zigzag movement. Now we have movement in fish. Fish have a streamlined body. This shape of the body helps it to move in water. Fish have bony skeleton. They gain power to move forward by swinging their tail fins from side to side, while curving the rest of their body alternately to the left and to the right. Fishes have fins for locomotion. Their forelimbs and hind limbs are modified as fins. They have powerful muscles in the tail to push the water backwards. Look at this picture of a fish having a streamlined body. Look at the picture. Caudal fin, adipose fin, dorsal fin, gill cover. Then we have pectoral fin, pelvic fin, vent, anal fin. So student, these are the body parts of a fish. और फिश के पास फिन होते हैं, और उसकी जो बॉडी की शेप है वो भी स्ट्रीमलाइन होती है, जिसकी हेल्प से वो वाटर में मूवमेंट कर सकती है. नाउ वी हैव मूवमेंट इन बर्ड्स. Birds have wings to fly in the air. They also have a pair of legs for walking on the ground. Some birds, like ducks, also swim in water. The following body structures help a bird in flying. So students, birds fly भी कर सकती है, उनकी 2 legs भी होती है ताकि वो ग्राउंड पे वॉक कर सके, और कुछ बर्ड्स लाइक डक्स वो स्विम भी करते हैं. लुक एट द फर्स्ट पॉइंट. बॉडी इज स्पिंडल शेप्ड और स्ट्रीमलाइन टू मेक इट्स वे इन द एयर. कम टू द नेक्स्ट. Bones are hollow but strong. They are filled with air. This makes the body of bird light for flying in the air. So जो आपकी बर्ड्स है उनकी बोन्स बहुत लाइट वेटेड होती है, होलो होती है, बट स्ट्रॉन्ग होती है, और उनमें एयर फिल होती है. दैट्स व्हाई वो क्या कर पाते हैं, वो फ्लाई कर पाते हैं. लुक एट दिस picture. A bird pigeon. Cleaved toes, clawed toes, legs, tail feather, wing, head, eye, beak, neck. So these are the body parts of a bird. forelimbs are modified into wings. Their shoulder bones are strong. The breastbone is broad for the attachment of breast muscles. Powerful breast muscles move the wings up and down, flapping of the wings. So आपकी flapping of wings में कौन help करता है birds की? Powerful breast muscles. Look at these pictures. Wing moving downward and upward, wing moving upward. Movement of wings of a bird. Birds fly by flapping their wings by the contraction of flight muscles. Wings move downwards and forwards. Downstroke of the wings pushes the air downwards and backwards, and the body is pushed upwards and forwards. When the wings move upwards, the bird moves downwards. So students, जो wings की movement है वो bird की movement से opposite होती है. Now we have check and mate. As we already read about these things, so you can do it by yourself. Movement in humans. Humans walk, run or swim to move from one place to another place. Bones along with muscles help in movement. The framework of bones in the body is called the skeleton. So students, human का जो body का framework है उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? Skeleton. Look at this picture. This is a skeleton system of a human being. Skull, jawbone, collarbone, humerus, ribs, backbone, hip girdle, radius, ulna, hand bone, femur, kneecap, tibia, fibula, foot bones. And this is the complete human skeleton system. The human skeleton. The skeleton gives shape to the body. When you were born, your skeleton had around 300 bones. By the time you became an adult, you will have only 206 bones. This is because as you grow, some of the bones fuse together. The skeleton is made of hard bones which cannot bend. The bones gives a proper shape to the body and also protect the delicate body parts from injuries. Bones are held together by the strings of tough tissues called ligaments. A joint is a point where two bones are joined together. So students, human skeleton system में क्या होता है? हमारी bones हैं और जब हम पैदा होते हैं तो almost 300 bones हमारी body में present होती है. बट जैसे हम एडल्ट होते हैं तो 206 बोन्स होती हैं. कुछ बोन्स आपस में फ्यूज हो जाती हैं, मतलब एक साथ वो कंबाइन हो जाती है. हमारी बोन्स जो है वो बहुत हार्ड होती है और वो किसके थ्रू आप एक दूसरे से अटैच होती है? एक स्ट्रैंड होता है, दैट इज लिगामेंट. टिश्यू होता है, टिश्यू की हेल्प से वो एक दूसरे से अटैच होती है. और जहां हमारी दो बोन्स जो है ज्वाइन होती है, दैट इज आवर जॉइंट. Get it, students? Now, components of human skeleton. The various parts of human skeleton are as follows. The first one is skull. The skull is made of many bones. It protects the brain from injury. All bones in the skull are immovable except the lower jaw. The lower jaw help us to talk and chew food. So students, जो हमारा skull होता है उसकी सब bones immovable होती है except lower jaw. लोअर जो क्या होता है? मूव करते हैं, उसकी हेल्प से हम बोल सकते हैं, खाना खाते हैं एंड एवरीथिंग. नाउ लुक एट द पिक्चर, द ह्यूमन स्कल. cranium, eye socket, base of nose, lower jaw. And look at the second picture, front view. Here is the backbone vertebral column. The backbone is also called the vertebral column or the spine. Runs from the skull to the lower back. The backbone is strong and flexible. It is made of 33 irregularly shaped bones called vertebra joined to each other. They are arranged in the shape of the letter H. Each vertebra has a hole in the middle through which the spinal cord runs. So students, आपकी जो backbone है, look at this picture, this is your backbone. और backbone को vertebral column भी बोलते हैं क्योंकि हमारी backbone में 33 bones जो है एक दूसरे से अटैच होती है, irregular shape में होती है और जो वो bones होती है उनको हम vertebrae बोलते हैं और वो एक S shaped में अटैच होती है. और हर एक वर्टिब्रा में एक होल होता है जिससे आपका स्पाइनल कोड पास होता है. नाउ वी हैव फंक्शंस. द बैकबोन होल्ड्स द हेड एंड बॉडी अपराइट. इट encloses and protects the delicate spinal cord. The joint in the vertebrae enables us to bend and twist our backbone. Sandwiched between your vertebrae are pads of tough fibrous cartilage that cushions the vertebrae and absorbs shock. सो स्टूडेंट्स, हमारी बैकबोन हमें क्या सपोर्ट देती है और जो हमारे वर्टिब्रे के बीच में जो आपका कनेक्शन होता है उसकी वजह से हम बेंड कर सकते हैं, ट्विस्ट कर सकते हैं और हमारा सबसे जो है मेन ऑर्गन दैट इज स्पाइनल कोड को वो प्रोटेक्ट करती है. नाउ वी हैव रिब केज. There are 12 pairs of ribs. All of them are connected to the vertebral column at the back. 10 pairs of ribs are connected to the flat breastbone. called sternum, present in the middle of the chest. The last two pairs are attached only to the vertebrae and not to the sternum. These two pairs of the ribs are called floating ribs. The rib cage protect the heart and the lungs. So students, rib cage में क्या है, हमारे पास 12 pairs होते हैं bones के, और जो हमारी बोन्स है वो स्टर्नम से अटैच होती है, लेकिन जो लास्ट टू पेयर्स होते हैं वो नहीं होते हैं. क्यों नहीं होते? क्योंकि वो फ्लोटिंग रिब्स है. गेट इट स्टूडेंट्स? लुक एट दिस पिक्चर. स्टेरनम, ब्रेस्ट बोन, रिब्स, द रिब केज. एंड लुक एट द एंड, द टू बोन्स वी हैव, वो एंड में अच्छे आपकी स्पाइनल कोड से अटैच है, लेकिन आपकी ब्रेस्ट बोन से अटैच नहीं. नाउ वी हैव लिम्स. देयर आर टू पेयर ऑफ लिम्स इन ह्यूमन बॉडी. The forelimbs, arms, which help us to do various tasks like holding the things, and hind limbs, legs, are used for walking, running, etc. Do you know? Thigh bone, femur, is the longest bone in the body. Each forelimb and hind limb consists of 30 bones. Get it, student? Look at this picture. We have bones of arms, palm bones, finger bones, wrist bones, ulna, radius, humerus. So these are humerus. So these are the bones in our arms. The shoulder region of the body is supported by a pair of shoulder blades and a pair of collarbones. These are connected to the interior part of chest region. The bones of arms are connected to the shoulder blades. The head of the bone of each upper arm rotates in the cavity of shoulder blade. Because of this articulation, we are able to rotate our arms in a circular movement. Look at this picture, student. This is shoulder blade, shoulder bones, and collar bones. That's how our bones fixed with shoulder bones, and we can move our hands. Here is hip bones. Hip region is supported by two large and flat bony pieces. These are called pelvic girdles. Each hip bone is formed by the fusion of three bones. Look at this picture. We have tail vertebrae, pelvic girdle, pelvis, hip bone. So this is the picture of our hip bone, and in our hip bone there is three bones connect together. The hip bones along with the hip and tail vertebrae form a large bony bowl. This is called pelvis. It encloses reproductive organs, large intestine and rectum. Come to the next, we have joints. So now we read about the joints. So what is joint? As we already discussed about joint, now we will read it in detail. The point where the two bones connect with each other is called a joint. The bones of a joint are connected to each other by strong fibrous tissue, ligament, whereas the fibrous tissue is called tendon. Movement is possible only at the joints. When muscles contract, they pull the bones and make them move. The two bones which comprise the joint may be movable and immovable. The bone of cranium and skull and facial bones have immovable joints. The bones of elbow, knee and fingers have movable joints. So students, joints का अगर हम joints के बारे में discuss करें तो movement कहाँ होती है? joints पे होती है. जरूरी नहीं हर एक joint में movement हो. अगर हमारी bones immovable कहीं इस तरह जो है जॉइंट बना रहे हैं कि वो इमूवेबल है तो वहां मूवमेंट नहीं होती है. और जॉइंट्स किसकी हेल्प से बनते हैं? फाइब्रस जो आपका टिश्यू है, दैट इज लिगामेंट्स. नाउ वी हैव टाइप्स ऑफ जॉइंट्स. डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ जॉइंट्स आर, लुक एट दिस टेबल, joints, movable joints, slightly movable joints, and immovable joints. First, we will read about movable joint. The joint that give motion or show movement are called movable joints. These joints have a lubricating fluid. This fluid keeps the joint frictionless and smooth and helps in free movement. Examples of movable joints are as follows. Look at the first. Pivotal joint. This type of joint is found in the skull and the first two vertebrae. The pivot joint allows you to move your head forward or backward. Rotate or turn it sideways onto the left or right hand side. Pivotal joints is found in neck. So student, pivot joint कौन से होते हैं? जब आप अपने हेड को मूव कर सकते हैं, आप अपनी नेक को मूव कर सकते हैं, किसी भी अप डाउन और साइड में जो है मूवमेंट करा सकते हैं. सो दैट इज pivotal joint और ये हमारी नेक में मिलता है. Look at this picture. This is our pivot joint. Here is B part. We have ball and socket joint. The joint in which the rounded end of one bone fits into the cavity hollow space of the other bone is called ball and socket joint. Ball and socket joint permits movement of the bone in all directions. The joints between the shoulder and the upper arm and between thigh and hip are ball and socket joint. So students, ball and socket joint क्या है, आपको हर एक डायरेक्शन में मूवमेंट प्रोवाइड कराते हैं. और क्या होता है कि एक बोन आपकी दूसरी बोन की होलो कैविटी में फिक्स होती है. लुक एट दिस पिक्चर. So this is the picture of ball and socket joint. Now we have hinge joint. It allows movement in one direction only either up and down or backward and forward, similar to the hinge of a door or a pencil box. This type of joint is present at the elbow and knee. So students, hinge joint सिर्फ एक ही डायरेक्शन में मूवमेंट होती है, या तो अप एंड डाउन होगी या फिर बैकवर्ड एंड फॉरवर्ड होगी. ये आपकी कहाँ मिलता है, आपके एल्बो एंड नी. Look at these pictures. These are hinge joints. Now we have slightly movable or gliding joints. These joints facilitate the gliding movement of one bone over the surface of the other bone. Movement in vertebrae of this is the picture of gliding joints. Now come to the next. The movement in vertebrae of the backbone that allows you to bend is because of their gliding movements. Similarly, the bones in wrist and knee show the gliding movement. These are not freely moving joints. So gliding movements जो आपके joint show करते हैं, that is the gliding movement joint. Okay students, और freely movement नहीं होगी. Here is immovable joint. These joints do not allow any movement between the bones. For example, the bones of the skull except the lower jaw bones are interlocked with each other and held together by fibrous cartilage which do not allow any movement. Joints which are permanently fixed are called immovable joints. So students, immovable joints वो जिनमें कोई भी movement नहीं होती. Look at this picture. In this picture, in our skull, the joints are immovable joints. Get it, students? We have movement in human body. Bones and muscles work together for movement in human body. Bones cannot move on their own. They are pulled by muscles. Muscles are tissues which contract and relax to cause movement. When muscles contract, they get shorter. The body moved by the contraction of the muscles. Let us consider the movement of our arm. So students, हमारी बोन खुद से मूव नहीं करती है, बोन्स को मूव कराती है हमारी मसल्स. और मसल्स क्या है, टिश्यू है. Come to the next. The muscles on the front of the upper arm are the biceps and those on the back of the upper arm are the triceps. Get it, students? So these are biceps and these are triceps. In order to bend and straighten the elbow joint, the biceps and triceps act against one another. When the biceps contract, the triceps relax and arm is pulled up. This is cause the arm to bend at the elbow. When the triceps contract, the biceps relax and the arm straightens. Look at this picture. That's how an arm movement defined. Look at this picture, bending the arm at the elbow. Get it, students? Similarly, a pair of muscles work together to bend and straighten the legs. What we learn in this chapter, now we will discuss it in a nutshell. Animals move from one place to another. Earthworms are known as farmer's friend. Skeleton gives shape to the body. An adult human being has 206 bones. The backbone holds the head and body upright. There are two pairs of limbs in human body, the forelimbs and the hind limbs. The point where the two bones connect with each other is called joint. The ball and socket joint, hinge joint, pivot joint and gliding joint are the different types of joints in our body. Here is keywords. Exoskeleton, a rigid external covering for the body in some invertebrate animals. Fuse, blend, mingle. Joint, the point where the two bones connect with each other. Thank you, students. We will meet again in the next chapter.